Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Happy 420. Merry Cannabis Miss if you choose to participate. I'm actually in the great state of Colorado right now. No, not in Colorado because of 420. I'm actually here because I'll be doing another installment of the Secret Space Program webinar series this weekend. There'll be a link down below in the description if you want to go check it out. And then also one thing I want to make a mention of before I get into what I want to talk about is that I was on the X22 report yesterday, and he posted my interview. And if you want to watch that interview, we talk for a good 30-40 minutes. I'll post that link down below as well, and you can go listen and check that out. But anyway, in this video, what I really want to do is just cover Q's posts over the past couple days, and then of course coincide that with a lot of breaking news and what's going on. We've got a lot of stuff to cover. So I'm going to begin right here with the post on McMaster. So Q making a post in regards to an Anon that was discussing McMaster's father passing away, and that is now being labeled as suspicious, investigated as suspicious. And Q posted right here, 187, meaning murder, fail to retain position / ear, threats are real, war is real. So people were asking me about this and wondering why the deep state, if it was, if there's more mystery to it here, if he was taken out by the cabal, why would that happen? If McMaster was on their team, why would they take out his father? And I was saying, these sickos, these evil people, they don't like when you fail them. Even if you're on their team, are you actually on their team? So McMaster failed them. He couldn't retain his position as being an ear, being a person getting intel for those groups. So they retaliated. They punished him, per se. At least that's how I'm seeing it play out. And then Q saying good versus evil is real. Coincidence. Delta engine fire. Interesting because, of course, we had the Southwest plane a couple days ago where the window blew open and the woman died, got sucked out supposedly. We actually had another plane that was a Delta catch fire in an engine during flight, had to make an emergency landing. And coincidence, are these things even coincidences? I mean, that's bad for business, bad for aviation business, right? So these engines, these planes, they're double, triple checked every time they fly. They're not just going to have odd engine fires or exploding engines like that. Who's going to want to fly? All right. Next post from Q here, it says fake. This is in regards to that back channel Twitter that has been odd. Some people thinking it's related to Q, with the back channel Twitter claiming, no, we just post intel. We're not related to Q, but we support them and all this stuff. I follow that Twitter handle, but I don't necessarily pay too much energy into it. And Q saying fake. So, hey, you do your own discernment with it. Next post, an Anon posted here, Governor Jerry Brown saying California reached an agreement with Trump administration on National Guard border mission. He had no choice. I'm sure he's putting into submission in some way. Why are D's aggressively attacking Pruitt, and why is the MSM attacking Pruitt? And then Q posts a link to an article that came out in 2017. It's one that's a little older, but it's saying how Sessions involved in investigating slush funds used by left-wing groups. And I would imagine that what Pruitt is doing as the head of the EPA is that he's likely investigating and exposing a lot of scientific slush funds. Because, of course, research is always a big topic in science that they try to funnel millions, if not billions of dollars into. Let's just endlessly research cancer. Let's just endlessly research climate change or whatever the case is. And when it comes to the science that comes out of it, how bullshit is it? How bullshit is a lot of cancer research, and especially climate science and all of that. We know the EPA is directly in bed with Monsanto and all kinds of other corporations. So I wonder what Pruitt's actually doing there and why they're attacking him so furiously. Next post, Rudy, New York City, relationships high, an insurance file. So Rudy Giuliani is joining Trump's legal team. It's being said to help bring an end to the Mueller probe, which would be good. And Q posts right here, direct discussions now available with Mueller. So that's good news. But insurance file, and of course the insurance file, it was the file on Anthony Weiner's computer that hasn't been talked about for a couple of years, but now, as Q's saying, quite until now, it's becoming much more talked about. And that insurance file, what's really in it? What kind of nasty stuff is on that file that is highly implicating to many politicians and insiders and very prominent people? So with Rudy Giuliani now having an in to maybe bring forth that information a little bit more so, of course, because Rudy Giuliani in New York City, he's got connections. He might be able to make that happen. And I mean, to be honest, when I first saw this, like Rudy Giuliani joining Trump's legal team, what popped into my mind was 9/11. Because, of course, Rudy Giuliani was mayor during 9/11, and I'm not saying he was complicit in the attacks, but he sure went along with the narratives. So to be frank, I haven't necessarily been too fond of Rudy Giuliani for a little while, but maybe, I don't know, maybe he was forced or coerced to say certain things and go along with narratives, or maybe he's now changing his tune and making deals and wanting to work with the positive, the good, the light, the alliance, if you will. Hey, whatever the case is, I'm all for that happening. Next post here. Q saying, we have everything. How can we use what we know? How do you legally inject, make public use as evidence? And to answer that, how we can use what we know is to simply put the dots together and shout it from the rooftops, in essence. You know, we can't, since the Q group or any of these White Hat Alliance insider groups, they have information and they can use surveillance techniques, spying techniques. I mean, they can turn on this stuff on the bad actors just as much as the bad actors can turn it on us. So they have evidence, but is that evidence legally admissible in court? That's the unfortunate thing, that it's not. Even though it implicates these bad actors in some nasty shit, we can't bring it into court. So how do we legally inject or make public or use it as evidence? Is by making a grassroots effort to shout about it, to make it be known, increase awareness, so then people ask and people want to investigate, and those investigations then go to court, they go to discovery phases, whatever the case is, it gets it out there. So that's what we're witnessing unfold, is this whole thing just explode. It's great. Next post, EO treason update reads, study the EOs, follow the pen, follow the EOs, post pen pics, and connect. And I'd imagine this is just simply telling us to read the executive orders and how they all string together and the actual technical jargon in them. Some of it's pretty fascinating, especially the human rights abuse executive order actually declaring a threat of national emergency because of that. And I would imagine that connects with other executive orders and how this is all going to be used coincidentally. They're all going to coincide with each other, I should say, to take down bad actors, and especially that human rights abuse order. I've been reading that over the past couple of days and putting the dots together in regards to like invention secrecy and whatnot, and how that can be used to bring technologies out. We'll be talking about that in the space program webinar. But there can, of course, these executive orders, how they're worded, they can be used in regards to, I'd imagine, every aspect of government, every branch, whatever the government's involved in. Next post, push to divide is strong. Think pre-post 2016 election. Why? Well, they never thought she would lose. And then a JFK reference down there. Right here, 1184, big error. Pelosi admits travel to North Korea in the past. Archive immediately. They've tried to cover it, and then Q posts a link to what she was talking about. Right here, minute 13, right on this C-SPAN video, she lets it slip that as a member of the Intelligence Committee, she traveled to North Korea. I don't think she was supposed to do that. Whoops. Her bad. And Q then saying the importance of this cannot be expressed more clearly. Archive offline. Intel trip to North Korea will make heads roll. Why will they make heads roll? Well, the words being used regarding intelligence, buying, and selling will bury her. Think net worth. So let's think of the net worth of Nancy Pelosi. She's a what? Politician? Should be making six figures, maybe a little bit more so, I don't know. But around there. Not that much. Not like hundreds of millions that somehow her net worth just exploded to. And how did that happen? Well, I would imagine payoffs, pay to play, and she sold America out. It's likely the case. And she kind of lets it slip right there. Next post looks to be maybe some kind of command for people on the boards or something to that effect. Engineers, architects, eyes only. Don't necessarily know. This next topic we're getting into, who captured? Breaking news, man linked to 9/11 attacks on U.S. captured in Syria, Pentagon says. Let's look at that a little bit more. This one's an interesting one. So a man linked to the September 11th attacks on the United States was captured in Syria by U.S.-backed forces. It was more than a month ago, but they're now finally admitting it. I'd imagine there's a plan. We can confirm that Mohammed Haydar Zamar, a Syrian-born German national, odd mix of nationalities, German, Syrian, weird. Anyway, was captured more than a month ago by Syrian Democratic Forces, partners, basically U.S.-backed, partners as part of the ongoing operations to defeat ISIS inside Syria. And I want to make it known right here, Q posting, what makes a good movie? Of course, in reference to a previous Q post from however long ago, I don't remember, but it says, what makes a good movie? Great actors. And this is exactly what I've been saying about Syria, the U.S., and Russia is on the surface level, superficially, they act like they're quarreling with each other. Putin claiming, oh, I'm going to retaliate against the U.S. Why'd they do that? And all this theater. It's all theater because behind the scenes, they're actually working together to take out the proxies, the deep state, and whatnot. And there you go, evidence of that. And then Q going into a quick Q&A, which is neat. It was neat for me to see that because it makes it known that the Q group wants to get more interactive, wants to lead people down the correct paths, and also, I suppose, the ability is being freed up for them to do so. Not quite as many internet attacks, or maybe a little bit more time on their hands or whatnot, or whatever the case is. But Q&A, 5 minutes. Q referencing the dark web video of Hillary Clinton saying fake, we control, which is interesting. We've been wondering, is it fake? Is it real? Who's seen it? Has anybody seen it? I wouldn't be surprised if it's real, but also I wouldn't be surprised if it's fake, of course. Q saying fake, we control. Very interesting comment to that. Federal Reserve ending, and Anon is asking. Q says structure, which of course we all want the Federal Reserve to end. We want us to get on whether it's an asset-backed monetary system or just do away with the monetary system and release the technologies that could do that. But if we just ended the Federal Reserve, there would be a collapse in all kinds of societal structures, control systems, and we don't want that. So I'm gathering that Q's saying structure so we can have some kind of easy rollout going forth, easy transition. Next post, when we will find out about Seth Rich in Vegas. So Q's saying Seth Rich connected to DNC, MS-13JA. So of course, the Democratic National Committee, which we'll talk about in a minute here. Seth Rich is the one that passed along the emails to WikiLeaks. And it looks like the MS-13 was used, MS-13 being like the deep state's America-based traffickers and hitmen. It looks like ISIS and Al-Qaeda and all those groups they use overseas, MS-13, they immigrate into America, use them, and they could have very well been used in Seth Rich's death. And he's the one that passed on the information to Julian Assange. Why did the D's push legal rep on family? Gag order, shut him up, I imagine. June estimated time of arrival on that topic. And then right here, will Europe be broken from its chains too? Worldwide, WW, storms global. This one, will election fraud be revealed soon? Yes, midterms are safe. Watch California. Interesting. But anyway, let's get into the last branch of articles that I want to go through. A lot of them talking about good old Comey, that douchebag, and McCabe here. Actually, I want to start with McCabe's fate rests with Trump-appointed prosecutor. And that prosecutor is named Jessie Liu. This is her right here. I actually reported on it. I remember this happening. I remember when Trump appointed her back in July, met with her, appointed her in like September, October, I think. And she, of a group of attorneys that were going to be appointed as federal attorneys by Trump, she's the only one that met with him. She's the only one that met with him, and that was let known. And now it looks like she's being activated. She, in her past, was a very white-collar prosecutor. She even prosecuted a guy named Rothschild with the last name. I don't know if there's connection there to the Rothschilds, but she prosecuted Rothschild, and looks like she's being activated, I would say. She's now probably in on a specific plan, and now that plan is going to the next step. So I was very intrigued to see her name there. I'm like, I've seen that name. There's something going on. There's a plan. Next piece, Justice Department Inspector General probing Comey's memos over classified material. No coincidence that those leaked. Key lawmakers say Comey's memos show terrible judgment and political bias. Bob Goodlatte, Trey Gowdy, Devin Nunes, they're all saying that Comey's memos show political bias by having, quote, at least 2 different standards in his interaction with others. Well, duh. He's lying to everybody. A lot of people aren't they? And then still on Comey, check this out. Comey, if I could change time, Anthony Weiner would never have been born. Which weird for him to throw Anthony Weiner out there. Why would he be talking about him just so randomly? Unless he knew that insurance file, something was going to happen with that very soon, and they're just all throwing each other under the bus. And now right here, still on Comey, there's so much coming out about him, but it's all just hilarious to see. Sit back, grab the popcorn. There is a deep state, says Comey. Fired FBI director says Trump is right, but this unchangeable FBI, CIA, and military love American values and are not trying to bring down elected leadership. Bullshit. Well, yes, the FBI, CIA, and military, they all love America. All of them. All of them. Even the ones that are hiding the technologies and completely suppressing, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous for him to say that. And I'm sure 90 to 95% of individuals in the military and FBI and CIA, they're great people who have great hearts and want to do the best. They're just compartmentalized out of what's really going on and don't understand. They don't have the full picture. And there's a small group of people in the 3-letter agencies, in the military and whatnot, that have completely hoarded power, control, money, technology for themselves. They have let everybody else out of that knowledge, and those are the people that, yes, need to be cleansed. Next post here, South Korea's Moon says North Korea seeking complete denuclearization, which now that North Korea's strings have been cut, they're no longer blackmailed by the CIA, it looks like. They can actually go forth with world peace and progressing. And this is great news coming out of that part of the world. And now the last couple things I want to share. Check this out. This is weird. Definitely weird. You'll see. But I just feel like there's more to this story. Bizarre bug causes Amber Alert page and numerous other government domains to redirect visitors to porn sites. The Department of Justice Amber Alert page, as well as weather.gov, were hit. Now that's just odd, isn't it? I mean, it's hilarious for one, whatever hackers went in and did this, but it's just weird, especially the Amber Alert. That Amber Alert would be the one redirecting to porn sites. And if you know much about Amber Alert, I don't know a lot, but I know a couple of specific things. It's always said that the fox guards the hen house. And if you remember, Laura Silsby in Haiti in 2010, arrested trying to traffic children out of Haiti. And when she was arrested, the Clintons actually directly intervened in her arrest, went down there, got her out of custody, and then she went and changed her name and began working for Amber Alert, if I remember correctly. Look into this. Look up everything I'm saying. So, that's why I'm feeling there's more going on to this Amber Alert. I just feel like there's a hidden message there from someone to someone else. Very last post, look at this. Look at this. This is hilarious. Washington State Fusion Center accidentally releases records on remote mind control. So this website, group of people called Muckrock, apparently, they filed a FOIA request, and they got back from the Washington State Fusion Center an accidental release of a zip file, and it was termed EM effects, electromagnetic effects on human body. And check out some of these pictures. It's actually showing info from 1974 called psychoelectronic weapons effects. And it's actually talking about what would happen to a human if, say, a directed energy weapon, a DEW, or some kind of targeted microwave frequency, how it affects both their physical body and their mental body as well. area right here is talking, or this picture right here is talking about brain area, the bioelectric resonance frequency of those particular areas. So your thought centers at 20 hertz, motor control cortex is at 10 hertz, and how to actually induce information through modulation of these motor impulses. So I've been talking about the voice of God technology, mind control technology, how to actually implant thoughts, memories, whatever the case is, programs into someone's consciousness through the use of electromagnetic frequencies. It's not conspiracy, and it sounds nuts, and it doesn't sound possible when you understand that our consciousness extends far out of our skull. It extends to basically everywhere. If you think about it, you can induce certain things into someone's head through the use of those same frequencies. And even this picture down here, it's showing a torus around an energy field around a human being, and it's talking about brain waves. It's going through delta, theta, alpha, beta, gamma stages of brain waves, the frequencies at which your brain resonates, and what to do about that. It's crazy. And to say this is accidentally leaked, maybe, but really, maybe it's purposeful. Maybe they let it slide out there a little bit that, oh, let's put this. It's time to disclose some things, right? Ruminate on that. But anyway, that's it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, being awesome viewers, and helping me do what I do. And I love doing it for you. Anyway, that's it for this one. Take care, everybody. Peace.